What do you care about? I asked myself this question recently when I was completely holding forth on the issue of ChatGPT, artificial intelligence. I was talking to my girlfriend about this and expostulating. Oh my God, ChatGPT, and it can make a fake bank account and it can pretend to be a human and hire somebody to solve a CAPTCHA and blah, 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 blah. I'm going on and on and on. And I watch, she's going to kill me for saying this, but I'm watching my girlfriend and she's like, it's early in the morning, she's still waking up, and I'm like hitting her with this stuff. She's like, takes her finger and she's sticks it in her ear, and she's like, listen to me, she's nodding, and then she kind of goes, and she smells, and I realized when she did this annoying, gross thing that she sometimes does, that she wasn't listening to me at all. She didn't care what I was talking about. And that made me stop and think, do you really and truly care what you're talking about right now? I want to talk today about the question of care. And how, I'll speak for myself, when I've been able to get a little bit more clear on what I truly care about, it helps me navigate the information hurricane / tornado / tsunami that characterizes so much of our culture and our public life. So the internet can kind of be looked at as this space where there are a trillion voices that are screaming out at us, asking us to care about stuff, right? We're asked to care and we're asked to care about the fact that we're asked to care if Kim Kardashian empowers women or women no longer have legal control. Western civilization is being undermined. Russia invaded a free Ukraine and is raping, pillaging, and murdering their way through the country. And we're asked to believe that Elon Musk is cleaning up Twitter. Our support in the West, Europe and America, for the Ukrainian citizens is possibly throwing fuel on a fire that will ultimately ignite in a nuclear holocaust. We're asked to consider that Elon Musk might be ruining Twitter. Shut up! There is no end to the things that we are asked to care about. Many people in our world can speak very intelligently about why you should be very upset and concerned about something they are talking about. Because I'm a drama queen, and I hate being bored, and I like to get very exercised about certain issues, I have, for the sake of my sanity, had to develop 3 things to tip me off as to whether or not I truly care about an issue. Number 1, is it tied up in some way with my identity, or the way I identify, self-identify? Number 2, do I have skin in the game? And number 3, does this issue that I'm supposedly caring so much about and getting fired up over, does it actually relate to some area in life where I have taken a specific action or made a specific choice? Because that's where the rubber really hits the road, not what I think about this idea or my opinion on that topic. I'm going to unpack these 3 determining factors for whether or not I care about an issue now for you. And maybe it will help you get some clarity on whether or not some of the stuff that really lights a fire under you is stuff you should care about, or maybe you can let that stuff go and focus on the things you actually really do care about. I will speak for myself now and say that I have a delicate and yet robust, fragile and yet thorough ecosystem of ideas, beliefs, experiences, memories, fears, desires, ambitions, a ecosystem of these different factors that all combine, merge, interrelate to give rise to my sense of self or my identity. Having an identity isn't a problem. It's inevitable. The problem is when I get attached to it and I feel that something has threatened my identity. And I feel this ecosystem that I was discussing earlier trembling. I feel a threat, and then I fight back. And I can find myself being very passionate about an issue I shouldn't or don't really care about or know a dang thing about, simply because I feel that my identity is threatened. And in these moments, I've found that it's really good to take that backward step that Dogen talks about, look at what's going on inside me, be mindful and in the moment and conscious of the fact that I'm feeling threatened. And now I open up the space for conversation. So I found that this is a very good way to diffuse my emotions around fraught political topics that don't directly relate somehow to my life, but rather threaten some part of myself that I'm holding on to, some identity or some idea, however precious or true that idea may seem to be. Still, if I'm attached to it, I am doing that idea or that truth no service whatsoever. Just because I have really strong feelings about something, about an issue, a topic, doesn't mean I have any skin in the game whatsoever when it comes to that issue. So there are people who have skin in the game on certain issues, and then there are people who do not. I'll give you an example. I will sort of disguise names, identities, places here because this isn't really my place to talk about this, but I have a college friend who is very Christian. He lives in Austin, Texas. He has a son. The son has indicated over the years, the son is probably 10 years old now. I'm still calling him the son because that is still how the son self-identifies, as a boy, but this boy has said over the years, I am not comfortable with my genitals, my male genitals. I wish I didn't have them. I don't like them. He's just like, I don't like them. I'm kind of a girl on the inside. Now, this is a really tricky topic, right? And I think about this kid, and I worry about this kid. I like this kid. This kid is a beautiful, sharp, interesting, artistic kid. My point is, sometimes there are issues that seem to be issues that we care about, right? But we don't necessarily have skin in the game when it comes to those issues. So the issue of like children and gender reassignment surgery and puberty blocking hormones and that sort of thing. Maybe this is an issue that strikes very deep for probably many, if not all of us, right? It goes down to sex and gender and the way that men and women relate to each other and how society has set itself up. I mean, these are really big issues. And because they're such big issues, it can feel like we care about it. But all I'm saying is, when I'm in the presence of somebody who has actual skin in the game, like my friend's child and my friend, I see the superficiality of my own perspective as someone who doesn't have skin in the game against the backdrop of the magnitude of the things that the people who do have skin in the game are dealing with. And I learned, once again, to shut my mouth, sit back, listen, note and observe the reactions that I am having, and see if I can learn something new, either about the issue or situation at hand, or about myself, or both. Skin in the game. If you ain't got any, shut up. I'll probably cut all that. I hope you'll forgive me for my incoherence. The thing is, the politics around trans issues, gender dysphoria, Christian evangelical philosophy and lifestyle, these are not my areas of expertise. I mean, I can have opinions, but I don't have skin in that game. And when I come to ask myself, okay, what game do you have skin in? Then we get to number 3 for me. What choices have I made in my life? That's the area that I really care about. The areas where I have made choices in. For example, I did not make the decision to go to Washington, D.C. and intern for a politician. I left my life in Hollywood, moved to the top of a mountain, and I studied meditation and Zazen and Zen lifestyle with a Rinzai Zen master. Those are the choices I made. That's the reality for me. So if there's a delicate topic, for example, like my friend and his child's gender, okay, I can have an opinion on it, but maybe I don't lead with that opinion. Maybe what I lead with is what I learned at the monastery, which is to withhold judgment and extend as much wisdom and compassion that I can towards the situation. So if I had to put my finger on what I'm trying to get at, I think I would say that there is an ideology afoot now. And it's an ideology that is somewhat incognito. And it's an ideology, dogma, that says you have to give a damn about and have an opinion about every hot button topic and culture war issue and binary dualistic battle that's taking place in our society. And if you don't have an opinion on it, you're uninformed, uneducated, apathetic, insert pejorative here. And I think that's stupid and wrong. I think that the middle way, which is the practice of Buddhism, tells us about a space in the middle where life is at play, right? Where there's not a right and there's not a wrong. And we don't know what the answer is. To me, in a lot of ways, that's what it means to be an intellectual, in a Buddhist intellectual. It means having an open mind. Ironically, that's also the definition of the Western intellectual. If you look at going back to Socrates, the Socratic method is asking questions. So maybe this is just the way, whether it's Eastern or Western traditions, the way to be wise is to have an open mind, ask questions, and not come to drastic conclusions like you know what the heck you're talking about all the time. Even though, again, that is what our culture pushes us to do, to have an extreme point of view and to stand by it no matter what. So I think that's all I want to say about the topic of care and our culture today. I shot some more footage where I talk a little bit about a section from the basic teachings of the Buddha. I edited that together and it's up on my Patreon page. So if you want to become a patron and listen to that and get access to some essays that I've written in an ongoing book that I am writing, as well as some blog posts, you can go to the URL link right here. It is also in the video description below. There's also a PayPal link there if you want to support this channel. For my patrons, I asked and you answered. So we're going to do a sit. It'll be maybe 2 meditation sits of 25 minutes or so with a little bit of instruction beforehand and a Q&A afterwards. I am going to give you that information later in this week, although I'm shooting this earlier in this week, so I'll probably be giving you this information right now. Anyways, you get the point. I'm going to post on Patreon information about our sit. We're going to do it this Sunday. So if you want to become a patron, you can join us for that meditation sit as well. I offer all this stuff for free, but I'm more and more relying on this channel for my bread and butter. So any help you can give, that would be great. If you want to give anything at all, that's great too. If you don't care, super. If you care, super. I'm done. Goodbye.